Hello and welcome back to Benny's and Mike's Film Room.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I'm Benny.
Yes, and you are on the wrong side of the river?
River.
It's so dumb. We did it like 7 times.
Oh man, we had recording problems, so we listened to that over and over and over. The main reason we like it...
You guys might think that when we say recording problems, this was like hours of... No, it was like 5 minutes.
Hey. I wanted to sound elaborate. You're killing the magic here, man.
Yes, the magic of hard work. The magic of lack of hard work. Anyway, we just watched The Mummy. The good one?
What year was this Mummy coming out?
1999.
Oh, okay, not the way back when...
1930s Mummy.
1930s Mummy?
Could it have been that this movie is set in the year that the original came out?
Who
knows? We're not looking it up.
Yeah, then they don't even try to identify the year based on timely events.
They do.
What?
It literally says Cairo, 19...
Ah, crap.
20-something.
They do nothing at all, I assure you. Okay.
So...
Why would they even do that, except to make, to say that it's old-timey days?
Because that's the thing that every movie does, no matter what it is. If it's a period piece, you must identify the year.
10 years later.
15
years earlier? Yes.
Yes. They did that exact thing in...
Toy Story 4?
No, that was our joke.
Oh. That's why I remember
They did that exact thing in Men in Black 4.
4?
Yes, we saw it.
Is that international? That's
yes.
How you count it? Okay.
It is. Anyway, this movie.
The Mummy.
We miss Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser! He is great.
He came at the right time to be Indiana Jones, when at the time there were no Indiana Jones.
I don't know if that's true. I think there were other Indiana Jones.
Like what?
What year did this come out? How close was it?
Just established.
How close was it to The Lord of the Rings?
That is not Indiana Jones.
I'm just asking you the question because...
It came out in 2001, I think.
Viggo Mortensen. Viggo? Is that his name? That doesn't sound right.
Viggo!
Viggo! What's his...
Why are you game?
What is his name? Aragorn does a movie that's set in the desert.
It is I, Aragorn!
Shut up. He does a movie also.
Man!
Every couple of years you need a character, like an actor or a hero that does the Indiana Jones thing. And this is something we'll talk about later.
You're talking about Sean Bean?
No, I'm talking about Aragorn, not Boromir.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I never got into those movies.
You're allowed to be wrong. So...
I'm allowed not to be wrong about a movie I've never seen.
I think we should do a podcast of The Lord of the Rings, but
that will kill me.
Each movie we do 2 pods.
No.
In fairness...
No. Okay, let's discuss this later.
I'm just saying, it'd be a really good idea because each one is broken into 2 books anyway. I just think it'd be cool.
Not each one.
I determined it, so...
The second one has the first half completely isolated and the second half...
Well, I mean, no, the movies are split, but, like, the books
are you enjoying
also
this
in 2
podcast
books.
about The Mummy?
Yeah! So, first things first. What's a mummy?
Okay. I feel like that is a question for later down the line.
Well, I'm asking the heavy hitters. We'll get there. We will answer questions such as, what is the mummy?
Are there Yetis?
Are there Yetis? Why do people have jaws that connect?
Who knows?
Because mummies hate that. Boy, do they love unhinging their jaw. That's like their favorite thing.
Why do people give curses to people that...
Yes, you powerful priest! You
arise a living disease that will conquer the world.
You're like, why would you do that? I mean,
I feel like
almost everyone is killed.
I feel it was customary to give everyone, even terrible people, even people who commit treason, treason.
Like kissing a girl with makeup on, yes.
No, murdering the pharaoh.
Hey. Well, doesn't that... I mean, I don't know who the lineage is, but is there a young new pharaoh? Is that the one who executed him? Was it the gold guys?
We determined that the gold guys were the priests, or something.
Yeah, they were in the circle praying while the CG ghost came out. The wobbly cloth.
No, the the guys who looked like Homer Simpson.
Yes, and the Emperor's like, "Why are you guys here?" And they're like,
"What?"
What?
He said, "Okay."
Oh, that was your Egyptian. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, because
Wow.
it was very wooden delivered. Like, it's very difficult to grasp sometimes another language and how deliveries work.
And
But at the same time,
yeah.
it's the eyes too.
I mean, I will say that this language is a real language. The ancient Egyptian language exists, and we know what it means because of the Rosetta Stone. So you're actually like, if they were really smart,
We're
they
not
could have
spo-
given the actual text, and here's the actual Egyptian, and now you're that guy who doesn't know how to say anything right.
We're not sponsored by Rosetta Stone.
I'm talking the OG
Yes.
Rosetta Stone.
So yes, what were we talking about? The Mummy?
So yeah, the classic thing, villain
Yes.
is trapped with a curse that makes him more powerful upon returning.
It was just like,
Luckily, it'll be way past our lifetime, says ancient Egypt, the maker of almost every curse.
what if it was like next week? It's like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, the timeline, that's way sooner than I had planned! I mean, they like have this group of people monitor the grave for 3,000 years.
Now, granted, I believe, I'm not sure if it only appears during like sunrise or sunset
The special city.
or once a month. I don't know. Yes, because like it appeared in a mirage, right?
Yes. But then it's just there.
Yes, like when did it go?
Is the location moving, or is it just its visibility? Because if it's just the visibility, that's really stupid.
I mean, there were no satellites yet. Again, another world in which I would love to see the future discover these magical things.
You know, that's always been a very interesting question, like how modern technology would interact with it. Almost in every movie that has to deal with monsters, technology just goes away for some reason because it complicates the situation too much.
Yeah,
But not in this one. This one, we're set in a specific year that's important. So important that I totally forgot it existed.
yeah, I believe it was like 1930 or 1929, something like really close to it, really close to
The Great Depression.
Yep.
And that's why everyone loves gold.
And all the Texans are in Egypt.
Yeah, of course. There's like 4.
Yes, and one guy is just too handsome.
The guy who gets his eyes and tongue
Yes,
ripped
he
out.
is too handsome to be.
Agreed. The most handsome guy gets the blow. You're like, come on.
I mean,
at least the guy with
he could
locusts
be
on him.
Brendan Fraser's body double.
Maybe he was.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe that's how he's got in the movie.
You're right.
So they're on this quest. They find the book, and then main girl Rachel
Dolezal?
Weisz-
I think her name is Rachel Dolezal.
What's the character's name?
Britain woman.
British librarian.
Son of the Pharaohs! That's the most outlandish, like, what in the name of justice is going on here?
What, the librarian who turns out to be in part of this secret organization.
Yes, what about them?
He said that, didn't he? Didn't he
Yes,
say
he
that?
did.
Yeah. Son of the Pharaoh.
Yes,
So great.
no, it's Rachel.
Flies, locusts.
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Evelyn. with an E.
Evelyn. Oh, Evie.
Yes. I mean,
Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. So, this girl opens the book of not Amun-Ra, the Book of the Dead. There's 2 books. That's the whole thing. This is really the tale of 2 books. One that does bad things, and the other one that undoes the bad thing. Interestingly, they are not put near each other for fear of canceling each other out.
Let's be clear.
I don't know why.
they do come back in the sequel. They are next to each other in the sequel.
Yeah, because we get them next to each other in this one. I think the sequel,
Is better.
that's really complicated, and we'll talk about it next time.
I've seen that one more times than I can count.
I have seen that one way more than the first
I've
one.
seen this one a handful of times.
It's
Like,
just scarier.
This one?
Yeah, this is way scarier. The other one's like much more adventure cartoony, and there's a little kid. Nothing bad can happen. I mean, the scariest part of that
this
second
is
one is like the sun coming.
This is pod racing.
That's true. Is it actually that kid?
I swear it is.
Okay.
No.
We'll move on.
Oh, I remember. Oh, that's trivia for the next one. I was having a conversation with you once about like who could have been Harry Potter, and I just remember who could have been Harry Potter.
Haley Joel Osment.
That kid.
The
kid.
This kid? The Mummy Returns kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
He turned down an audition for it.
Whoopsie doodle.
So that didn't mean anything, but it's like, you. Anyway, this one.
So the Mummy. They get the book. She reads from the book, right? And then the magic spell happens.
It's a cartoon. This movie's a cartoon.
Yes, it is. But she reads the book, and the magic spell happens. The weird thing is that the reader of the book is, like, you have to hold the book and say the words based on what I can understand. Because later on, in the parallel gold book, the Book of Amun-Ra, what's Jonathan, the brother, is trying to read the other spell to undo the thing, and they're shouting the words to him, but wouldn't saying the words be the magic?
Well, I mean,
or do you have to be a magical person, or is it just holding the book? I think it's holding the book and saying the words.
I feel like if you were the last one to touch it, and like touch and read, because that's how Agent Cody Banks' villain, what's his name?
Paul Giamatti.
That's
Big Fat Liar?
Yeah. Okay, let's be clear. The cover for Agent Cody Banks is blue.
Hey, and Paul Giamatti is blue.
Yep, he's always been blue.
Yeah.
Abadi dabadai. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
So yeah. He is, because I assume he was the one who last held the book.
Maybe. I mean, he was in contact of the book, and they're telling him what words to say. So.
Or maybe he was, because he was dead. Who knows?
When I was watching, I was like, why does saying the words do it? Is she magical?
They didn't care back then about...
So much so, the Mummy acknowledged her, Evelyn, as being the one who, freed him and brought him back to life. Like, he knew, through magic, that she did that. So there must be some kind of thing. Now, obviously, the second one, she does have a magical position in the Mummy world.
This is in the time of people did not care about any of that.
All I wanted was the inevitable setup for a sequel, not the cinematic universe build.
Yes.
Simpler times.
I mean, it was simpler.
Yeah.
It really was. Like, it wasn't... Now everything has to be, like... Everything must, have a beginning. You must see where it originated from, and then it goes from there, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think nowadays is good. I think, it shows that the writers are competent, you know?
It does force people to put less content in the first installment, though, right? Because you're busy setting up the world and getting the pieces in play and introducing Dr. Jekyll for no reason and whatever.
It should be noted that while looking up for the next film, I discovered that The Rock was in an episode of Star Trek Voyager.
What? I'll have to look that up later.
In the year 2000, as the champion, as The Rock.
Wow. That's very interesting. That will be really useful when it makes sense to the pod. So,
which we are doing?
Yeah, we'll do the pod for it. No, I'm talking the pod for The Mummy Returns.
Okay, I have a question what are we doing now?
Where are we?
What?
Well, who knows what we're doing right now? This is the recording, but
anyway. So, I mean, you already know this, listener. That this is a Indiana Jones movie.
Yes.
It's like the 90s Indiana Jones movie, and it is the... I don't know Indiana Jones at all. I don't care about it.
Well, actually, my wife and I just watched the 3 Indiana Jones movies. I heard they were going to make a 4th, but it just fell through. Bummer.
They're making a 5th.
Ugh. Well, I'll refuse to acknowledge those forever, if I can help it. But we just watched those, and then there's The Mummy, and then
The Mummy Returns.
there's
The National Treasure.
The National Treasure. So it's like a continuum of adventure films. So I think Indiana Jones is a better movie. It's not, you can't compete. They're just better quality film.
It's just
There's more adventure. The stakes are higher in each fight. There's more character development, all that junk. But
it's just that it's just a nice substitute.
Yeah.
It's like, I really, what is the next Indiana Jones going to be? Like, what will the next, like, action adventure hero, like, are we ever gonna have, like, because I feel, well, this movie is not a comedy, but it has comedic elements, obviously. You know? I feel like the comedy is about 30-70.
With 30 being the comedy and 70
Yes.
being the action.
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Well, because nowadays, it's like...
It's a little more Looney Tunes than...
Well, nowadays, I don't think... There are very few comedies that are good. Like, movies that present themselves as comedies, nowadays, there are very few that are good.
Well, because they have to be so crazy to have an impact.
Yes, but things like Thor Ragnarok, what else is there?
Well, I think Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy are a form of this adventure.
Yes, but also the last two Jumanji movies.
Oh,
it's like things have to be connected with action to be comedies.
Yeah.
I feel like that is a more consistent way of getting things done.
I mean, I will say, this movie also has some scary moments, though. Whereas those movies don't, like...
The 13-year-olds that are only watching this?
I'm scared. The bug crawled into that dude.
Okay, fair.
And he ran into the wall and died.
Shut up, it made sense.
It did. You're like, oh, he's eating his brain, he's freaking out. But then
I wasn't thinking he was eating the brain at all.
That's exactly what I thought was happening. When I was a kid.
Did you think he was piloting him like
he's like Ratatouille or Plankton inside of SpongeBob.
Yes, I was thinking Plankton, but I thought Ratatouille would play better.
Yeah. So I always thought he was just eating his brain, so he was freaking out, and so his robot arms are moving forward. But he ran so fast, he just like blam, dead, just instant dead. That's it. It was so crazy, and you're like, can you really run that fast? Or was it because of the bug that he died?
I think, he was going insane. He was paranoia. He ran into a wall that he probably didn't even know was there.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could at least get
like, what if you were running head down and a wall appeared in front of you without you knowing? That would be the same as what happened here.
I don't know if you could run so fast you die, though. I think you could knock yourself out.
You could crack your skull.
Really, though? I don't know. Like, because bone is hard.
They weren't that hard back then.
Their bones were weak and soft due to the lead.
It wasn't there yet.
It was in all the water.
It was in all
their favorite things.
In all the sand in Egypt.
In all the sand. So
back in the day, the Sahara was lead.
It was, and that's why it's sadly leaving.
And
we should save the Sahara from... Oh wait, it's growing? Isn't that what's happening?
What?
Isn't the Sahara growing? Or is it shrink? I don't remember.
Did you hear this on Dear Hank and John or something?
No. Which is a great podcast, by the way.
Anyway, I don't know anything about what you're saying. But
I'm just saying...
That means the mummy's real!
This movie... does Looney Tunes style action, but also is a little scary because the dude has his eyes ripped out.
Brendan Fraser will eventually be in a Looney Tunes movie.
That's true. What was that movie called?
Back in Action. Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Yeah. You know, I think that movie was better than Space Jam.
I mean, Brendan Fraser is a better actor than Michael Jordan. I was about to say Michael Jackson.
I don't know. But... they're still both.
It should be clear.
Neither of those movies are that good.
Well, Ben, it should be noted that principal photography has ended on Space Jam 2.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, with LeBron James?
Yes.
Wow. And the Looney Tunes?
Yes.
All of them?
No, the Hanna-Barbera characters. Yes, the Looney Tunes.
Well, that's kind of the new thing, so... Cinematic universes!
Sorry, that was the thing we talked about before the pod.
We talked about cinematic universes in this.
No.
Did we? We didn't? Oh. Well, this is a cinematic universe, sort of.
Yeah, because it has the Scorpion King, the 3 Mummy movies, the TV series, the video games, the audiobooks.
There are audiobooks?
No.
Oh, I was like, I want to get in on this.
The McDonald's toys.
The wrong side of the river! Anyway, that's what the toy says when you push it.
No, it's like a playset of that scene.
That's it. I've got all the horses! That's it. You're like, I hope I can get a camel for this. Oh, the camel isn't in that scene.
No. Later.
Wow, this is so dumb.
I was talking about also for like I've been on a Lego video game kick recently, and all I can think about is like this would have made a perfect Lego video game franchise.
Yeah.
I can see all the scenes.
In their Lego format.
I mean, I could.
Ah.
I mean,
You make anything a Lego game.
no.
Almost anything could be a Lego game.
Rick and Morty.
I mean, sure. Santa Claus is coming to town. Tell me that wouldn't be a Lego game.
Game of Thrones.
Just
I would
pick
love.
up all the gold
No,
coins.
but
There's blood. So much blood.
blood and boob.
Oh no. Yeah. So,
But they're Lego.
what is a Lego? I don't even want to.
No, it's just the sticker.
It's just a sticker. That's so dumb. Okay, moving on to The Mummy. This movie got a little spooky with the eyes and the mouth and the nose and the face and the bones and the whatever. Like when they had that one dude in the air and they like suck him dry in the shadow. That was kind of scary to
guess.
child you.
No, never child me.
Child me thought it was scary.
I watched Ghost Stories on Animal Planet. I was not scared.
Wow, so brave, so strong.
We talked about this other day, so he doesn't have as many questions as he should.
I don't know what ghost stories are. They about animals?
Well, it's mostly
Were the animals the ghosts?
I mean, probably.
It was about animal ghosts. Like there's a ghost deer.
Well, the animals usually notice the ghosts.
Well, animals always can tell the supernatural.
Well, yeah, because that's a thing.
So every time a dog is barking at nothing, they're actually barking at a ghost.
I think also the History Channel as well.
The dogs are barking at the History Channel.
That also reminds me of the Fairly Odd Parents special episode where Vicky gets a hold of the magic remote, so she will go into the History Channel, and then she will control the future.
I remember that being really good.
The time do fly.
Yes, it does.
I'm
So
watching The Mummy.
the Mummy also has control of sand. They did a really, really good job of identifying what the Mummy's powers were because of the narration in the very, very beginning, saying what the Mummy could do when he came back.
Yes.
Like he'd be
be
no
able
mortal
to do-
weapon can kill him. He has power over sand.
he'll
He
do
has
the plagues.
this. He brings all the plagues with him.
And remember
Now-
the guy just sitting there with the book? What have we done?
And then like the super fake locusts are all over
Are they
him.
super fake? I thought they were like plastic.
No. They are CG fake
All?
bugs. Yes,
I'm
every single one of
looking-
them.
I'm looking at this
I'm
one.
willing to bet money on that. I feel like they wanted to spruce up the shot. And they were like, well, throw some locusts on it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a very dramatic scene. It's dumb, but it's...
And the plagues are so haphazardly put in. Like, they don't really matter at all. They're just like, yeah, we're in Egypt.
That's another thing.
plagues.
That's another
Throw
thing.
the plagues in.
In,
And they're not in the second one.
the plagues?
Yeah.
Oh, he's done with that.
He's like, I'm over the plagues. I'm
that
on to
was-
this new thing.
That was last millennium's news.
I'm onto the Scorpion King and a golden spear and stuff. I don't remember. There's some pygmies.
I remember the little wooden men.
I think that's what they are.
They're like little wooden munchkins.
Yeah.
They're like the
See, the movie's much more silly than
They're
the
like
first one.
they're like
and the
real
first
life
one's pretty
versions
silly.
of the little coconut people in Moana.
Yeah, they're the coconuts. And this movie is pretty silly anyway. Like when the bullet shots are getting progressively closer to Brendan Fraser's head. And then at the very end, she like pulls him away from the last one. Like they're shooting progressively. They're like, "I'm gonna eventually hit something," and they're like, "Why? Why did anyone do this in a pattern?"
What a ridiculous film.
It was a ridiculous film. I like how What is Brendan Fraser's character's name?
Rick O'Connor.
Rick O'Connell, the most generic hero name ever.
I mean, every character that is not based off of another medium sounds so generic.
It's true.
Except for like characters who have since become iconic, like Marty McFly or.
What if they only become iconic because their names ring true?
Benny.
Well, I like the name Benny.
It is your name.
It is.
Also, does his name translate to Benny?
In Hungarian, which the subtitle said he was like muttering in one time.
Yes, and also
muttering